Get ready to hear the truth about America. A news show that isn't allergic to the facts. The Bold Conservative. Now, here's your host, James Ledbetter.
Good morning to all my bold conservatives out there. How are you doing? It's after Christmas. Had a great Christmas. I slept. I slept and got some much needed rest. I think I slept for 24 hours. Well, today, you might believe this. A WaPo, Washington Post columnist, rips Rachel Maddow for hyping the Steele dossier. And not only that, but they're ripping Rachel Maddow for spreading Russian conspiracy theories. She just won't let it go. Hold on to your mega hats. This is the Bold Conservative Show. All right. So, as you have heard in the intro, a Washington Post columnist, a Democrat, is ripping Rachel Maddow to shreds for hyping the fake, salacious Steele dossier. In the Daily Caller reports, a columnist for the Washington Post blasted Rachel Maddow for her coverage of the infamous Steele dossier on Thursday, saying that the MSNBC host engaged in a pattern of misleading and dishonest asymmetry in her reporting on the salacious document in the nearly 3 years since its crazy publication. And it was, as you know, it was published by Christopher Steele, who wrote it, and Glenn Simpson from Fusion GPS, where I did a show a couple weeks ago where Glenn Simpson said he'd love to know more about the Steele dossier. Really? Really, idiot? You're the one that pushed it out there. Did you not read it before you sent it everywhere? You'd like to know more about it. Okay. So the same Steele dossier, which was bashed by its own author, Christopher Steele, who says his source was shady. His source is, this is Christopher Steele's exact words to the FBI, a boaster and an embellisher, which means he boasts unconditionally, no matter whether it's fake or real. He boasts lies, and he embellishes on what he believes in. So if he believes that he wants Trump impeached, he's going to say whatever lies it takes for that to happen. So this is the Washington Post the Daily Caller continues. As part of her Russian phase, and this is from Eric Wemple in his 5th installment in a series reviewing the media's coverage of the Steele's dossier, and he writes for the Washington Post, and this is his exact words. Okay, as part of her Russianist phase, Maddow became a clearinghouse for news increments regarding the dossier. So Wempleton took on the project in the wake of the Justice Department's Inspector General's report, which undercut key aspects of the dossier. So not only did the IG report undercut key aspects, so did the Mueller report, which completely debunked from the Steele dossier from beginning to end. But you have Rachel Maddow still claiming that it's credible. You have MSNBC hosts pushing this and pushing this. I told you folks, the left, the crazy alt-left media is going to try to bring back this Russia hoax. They can't let that Russia hoax. They were making way too much money just to let it go. So they're not ever going to let it go. They're going to keep pushing this as long as Trump is president. He wins in 2020. They're still going to be talking about this crazy Russia conspiracy theory that Trump was colluding with Russia to undermine the 2016 election. So this is the thing. According to the IG report, the FBI was unable to corroborate any of Steele's allegations of collusion involving the Trump campaign. And Steele's primary source of the dossier, as I've said before, also disputed key allegations in the document. Steele told the FBI agents, this was in October of 16, folks. This was right after Trump was elected. Steele told FBI agents that one of the main subsources of the dossier was a boaster and embellisher. And this is what the report further stated. So Wemple laid out the timeline of Maddow's coverage of the dossier, noting that she tended to hype developments that cut in favor of Steele's reporting, even though it was proven false from beginning to end, from the very first letter to the very last letter. The Steele dossier has been debunked completely. There's not a single true statement in the dossier. And this is from the FBI, this is from the IG report, and this is from the Mueller report. They long awaited the Mueller report. Mueller time. Mueller was going to save the United States from mean old Orange Man bad. Orange Man bad. And it turns out that everything that Mueller said was debunking everything that MSNBC and CNN was saying. So Wimpleton laid out the timeline, and Maddow tended to hype development that cut in favor of the Steele reporting, while ignoring information that undermined the ex-spy. You heard that right. So the DNC, who paid for the dossier, Hillary Clinton's campaign, who helped pay for the dossier, colluded with an ex-spy. Not a U.S. spy, a British spy. And that was Christopher Steele. And it gets better, folks. So here's the report. Here's what Wemple wrote. When small bits of news arose in favor of the dossier, the franchise MSNBC host pumped air into them. Wemple wrote, at least some of her many fans surely come away with her broadcast thinking the dossier was a serious piece of investigative research, not the flim-flam, quick twitch game of telephone outlined in the Horowitz report. The Horowitz report dismantled the Steele dossier. So why does Rachel Maddow keep pushing this crazy conspiracy theory as if it is fact, man? She can't stop. She has to keep going because it's making her money. It's getting her the little views that she has left. And he also wrote that she seems to be rooting for the document. Let's get this understood. These crazy conspiracy theory alt-left nut jobs like Rachel Maddow are rooting that the Steele dossier is true. They want it to be true so bad. And that's against America. They want our president to be corrupt. They want our president to be a scoundrel, man. The Democrats are trying to destroy this country. Bit by bit, piece by piece. But according to Wemple, Maddow touted reports from other news outlets that claim parts of the dossier were corroborated. On May 3rd of 2017, she said on her show that more and more aspects of the dossier had been independently corroborated. By who? By who? She never gives sources. She always just makes these outlandish claims. Independently corroborated. From who? See, that's the thing I learned as a news writer, a news journalist. Whenever I write something, I have to give evidence. I have to give sources. Rachel Maddow never gives sources. She just makes outlandish claims. And she was never able to come up with these independent corroborators. Really? So get this. Another instance, on October 5th, 2017, a year after the president was elected, she said that a lot of the claim in the dossier were dead to rights. On April 16th, 2018, she hyped a story published by McClatchy, another left-wing outlet, that the special counsel's team had received evidence backing up the dossier's allegation that former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen visited Prague in August of 2016 to meet Kremlin operatives. The IG report said that the allegations were a lie. So here you have Rachel Maddow saying that, well, most of the claims in the dossier were dead to rights. Really? What parts? You mean the parts where you said Michael Cohen visited Prague? Michael Cohen denied visiting Prague, and the Mueller report debunked that Michael Cohen ever visited Prague. There were no travel records, there were no tickets, there were nothing indicating that Michael Cohen had ever visited Prague. And trust me, when an American leaves the country, it's well documented in their visa, in their travel records. When I came to India, it was well documented. They wanted to know why I'm coming here. They wanted to know how long I would be here. And they wanted to know when I was coming back. So since I've been in India, it's been well documented. Every move that I make, every visa that I pay for. So here's the thing. It doesn't go unchecked. There's no secretly sneaking around. The U.S. government and the government in the country where you're visiting knows where you are, what you're doing, and why you're there. So the IG report and the Mueller report debunked this crazy lie. Yet you had Maddow appeared so convinced of the dossier's accuracy that she aired an hour-long special report on December 8th in 2017, hyping the Steele's reporting, hyping Christopher Steele, who debunked his own report, his own dossier. He debunked every bit of it. He said he couldn't back up any part of the dossier. He couldn't corroborate any of the subsources' words. There was no evidence of anything that he said. So he basically wrote a storybook. And you have Rachel Maddow pushing a storybook, which is hilarious all on itself. So here's the thing. Another instance, on November 25th, Maddow conducted a sympathetic interview with Greg Simpson and Peter Fritsch, the two co-founders of Fusion GPS, the firm that hired Steele to write the lie, the infamous Steele Dossier. She touted a book by Simpson and Fritsch, released last month, about the development of a dossier as the one you should read. So, Fusion GPS publishes a lie and spreads it around. Then they write a book, and we're supposed to believe that part of it. You see how this works? So now she's pushing Glenn Simpson's fake book, the second dossier, apparently is what it's supposed to be called. Maddow did not ask the Fusion GPS founder about the numerous flaws in the dossier. Of course she didn't. She don't want to confirm that she's been pushing a lie for over 3 years now. So Maddow's enthusiasm for the dossier waned as developments in the Russia investigation cut against Steele's allegations, Wemple noted. Maddow has only mentioned the Steele dossier once on her show since the release of the IG report. But instead of discussing the report's critique of Steele, Maddow asserted that the IG debunked a GOP theory that the dossier was the spark of the FBI's investigation of the Trump campaign, which it did not. Anybody who's read the IG report knows that the IG specifically said that the Steele dossier was the governing factor in the FISA warrant to spy on the Trump campaign. And I was doing some research, and back in April of 2019, ILoveMyFreedom.org wrote this. So they've started debunking her regularly now. And the title of the article, Democrats are now calling out Rachel Maddow for being a conspiracy theorist. So real Democrats, the moderate ones, the ones that aren't pushing lies, the ones that want to really know the truth, are debunking Rachel Maddow, MSNBC, CNN, and all the other fake news outlets. So the article says, for the past 2 years, radical Democrat and MSNBC host Rachel Maddow has been pushing Russian collusion conspiracy theories in an attempt to undermine President Trump. So it's on 3 years now. First, Attorney General William Barr came out with the summary of the Mueller report, which showed that the Trump campaign did not collude with Russia. Next, Maddow's ratings plummeted, and then she continued to push the crazy conspiracy theories by claiming that Barr was involved with a cover-up to protect President Trump. That's usually what they say, to get their viewers to say, oh, yeah, I believe that, because they don't want to believe the truth. So here's the thing. Maddow is becoming so unhinged that some Democrats are now even calling her out. One of these Democrats is a far-left Democrat, Jacob Bacharach, with the New Republic. In the article, Bacharach hammered the MSNBC host for her constant lies and Russia conspiracy theories. And this is what Bacharach actually wrote. Breadcrumbs are emblematic of the informal house style at MSNBC. The channel has a range of on-air talent, and its shows each have their own cadence and feel. But they are joined across the arc of each day-long cycle of programming, and especially the larger mega cycle of the Russia investigation, by a kind of Sherlockian my dear Watson zeal. We are discovering the clues, uncovered the documents, connecting the threads, following the trail in the forest. And the article goes on. A mystery in a puzzle to solve, but a conspiracy can only produce more and more mysteries. So in other words, what this Democrat is saying is MSNBC isn't getting down to the facts, isn't trying to come up with the truth and report the truth. They're coming up with conspiracy theories that only cause more and more confusion. So here you have two Democrats, and there's lots more. I promise. I've seen them over and over again. They're debunking Rachel Maddow. Keep in mind, Rachel Maddow is the one that pushed the insane conspiracy theory that Russia was going to take down all of our power grids, our power infrastructure, take down all of it while it was below zero, and it was all going to be Trump's fault. That never happened. As you can see, she just keeps pushing this stuff to get views. And there are crazy, insane people that believe her. They literally believe her. So that's what Rachel Maddow gets for peddling a left-wing conspiracy theory for over 2 years and counting. As you can see, it's several months later, and she's still doing it, trying to push this Steele dossier that has been debunked over and over and over again. My favorite part of that article from the Daily Caller actually reported this part. The implosion of the Russia collusion narrative damaged more than Maddow's ego. It also destroyed her ratings. Folks, MSNBC, CNN, ABC, all of these left-wing conspiracy outlets have lost so many viewers, and Fox has gained so many viewers. And when you get on Twitter and you try to, in your debating left-wing nut job, and you use a Fox link to debunk them, they say, oh yeah, you would believe Fox conspiracy theories. And then you prove that their sources from MSNBC and CNN are the actual conspiracy theories. And then they block you because they don't want to know the truth. They keep saying that Trump is a criminal. They can't come up with anything that Trump has done to break the law. They can't come up with one law that he's broken. And it's insane. So the Daily Reporter, or the Daily Caller, goes on to report the Rachel Maddow show on MSNBC delivered monster ratings for the network, cementing the cable host as the left-wing foil to Fox News' Sean Hannity. Maddow consistently finished first and second in overall cable news ratings over the past year, sometimes garnishing more than 3 million viewers. But according to the Daily Beast, another left-wing outlet, Maddow's show dropped 500,000 viewers in just 1 week after the Mueller report dropped. Lost 500,000 more viewers when the IG report come out. That's over 1 million viewers. So now MSNBC and CNN cannot come up with the same viewership as Fox News. In other words, Fox News gets more views every day than both CNN and MSNBC put together. Because the real American people, we're not talking about the Twitter nut jobs the ones that keep claiming that CNN is credible. There's a lot of Democrats out there that refuse to listen to CNN now. And that's the real world. See, Twitter's not the real world. But you have people thinking that these left-wing nut jobs, these alt-left idiots that are running around Twitter, spreading conspiracy theories and lies, they think that they're the Democrat Party. But there are still Democrats out there that debunk this craziness, that push this craziness to the side and want no part of it. They want no part of this cancel culture. They want no part of this MSNBC nonsense, this Rachel Maddow conspiracy nonsense. But they keep comparing her to Sean Hannity. Most of what Sean Hannity comes up with is fact. He has documentation and hosts that come on his show that and all he does is say what they're saying. So here's the thing. You have Sean Hannity, which comes up with fact. Then you have Rachel Maddow, which makes things up that most of the stuff in her shows turns out to be lies. Like the Russia thing. Like Russia's going to take down our power infrastructure. When did they do that? When did they even come close to doing that? They can't do that. Our national security is too high for them just to come in and just take out our power grids. I mean, they might have some idiot that's over here that might be able to take out one power plant or something, but that's just one power plant. Rachel Maddow's talking about blackouts across the country. Nobody has the power to do that. Nobody, no country whatsoever. But then again, Rachel Maddow keeps pushing this fake Steele dossier like it's fact, and she's going to keep doing it. Come on, folks. Her pushing this Russia nonsense, this impeachment nonsense, is what's keeping her remaining 500,000 viewers listening. The nut jobs, the ones that absolutely are clueless to real life in the real world. These are the nut jobs on Facebook, the nut jobs on Twitter, the social media idiots that you see running around screaming and screaming helplessly at the sky. And when you actually look at them, there's some sort of mama's boy that lives in his mama's basement and collects food stamps. Don't even work. These are the type people that we're dealing with. These are the type people that are listening to Rachel Maddow and Don Lemon. Don Lemon made the statement last year that all white men are terrorists. That means my dad. If you're white, your dad. If you're white, you, me, and any other white man on the planet, every one of us are terrorists. Don Lemon actually said that. And I've done shows on that crazy madness. It's insane, folks, what these people are pushing. And then you have Adam Schiff quoting these people, quoting these idiots on the news networks as if what they're saying is true. Then you have Adam Schiff said he had absolute proof that Trump colluded with Russia. He had more than Robert Mueller had. In other words, Robert Mueller said there is no evidence that Trump colluded with Russia. But Adam Schiff kept pushing that lie. Rachel Maddow kept pushing that lie. Eric Swalwell kept pushing the lie that he had evidence. So what? Him and Adam Schiff got together and they all come up with the same story with Rachel Maddow. We're just going to keep saying it. It's going to make us look bad if we admit we were wrong. So we're not going to admit we were wrong. We're going to keep lying to the American people, and we're going to keep pushing these lies just so we can keep our viewers, so we can keep making our money, and we can keep getting our insane advertisers. These advertisers are advertising conspiracy theories. So I'm just saying, that's just the way it is. And Rachel Maddow can complain all she wants to. She put herself in this predicament. She put herself here. Adam Schiff put himself here. Eric Swalwell put himself here. The Democrats put themselves in this craziness. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Please support us on Patreon at patreon.com/theboldconservative. Thank you for listening and have a great day.
Before we let you go, take a moment to consider one of our sponsors. Rogue Energy was founded in January of 2017 to be the best performance drink in the world. The founders of Rogue Energy have developed a premium nootropic stack in the form of a delicious energy and focus drink. It is designed to replace unhealthy canned energy drinks, coffee, and even traditional pre-workouts that can cost you an arm and a leg and can be a big drain to your budget. I'll order them in bulk and drink them daily. The mix is easy to make and has the effects of coffee with a kick. I mix a drink when I first wake up, and that gets me going with my day. I recommend the watermelon flavor. One tub gives you 30 servings. Rogue Energy is super and sugar-free and is loaded with vitamins, antioxidants, and nootropics. The founders designed Rogue Energy for the emerging professional and competitive gaming market, and it continues to have fantastic carryover and success with students, athletes, entrepreneurs, and anyone looking to optimize their mental and physical performance. You can get there by using the link in the description. Also, during checkout, use the promo code BOLDWITHJames and get an additional 10% off of your order. Order your Rogue Energy kits today.